flat deck, and then have a little tapered system with it. Basically a dead boy.
Are you tapering to a center drain? Is that what you're doing?
Yep. And so.
And that's in the framing.
Yep.
I was going. Yeah, somebody's.
They're steep, but it's going to really help collect that water.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise you've got to frame this part down, and then you got that much float, right?
Well, you either have to pre-float it, or a lot of guys do the taper rip, and then put another layer of plywood. So it's not as material as another. But the wall framers that come in here, we've got vertical siding, so they've got to come in and block every 2 feet.
Oh, vertical siding. Whoa. Okay.
So it's just makes it a lot more cumbersome for them. But, you can see they're so good and efficient, and they'll frame the wall, and they don't actually even mark their studs or their blocks when they're cutting them. They just bump it and plunge it, bump and plunge, and the blocks just fall right into the wall just by siding it. They don't even pull out a tape or a speedy square.
Good. So it's what ought to happen.
But it's so amazing to watch. You just watch them bump up, and then they set them down, and they know, like, as they're sliding it back up, that one's a little long. They'll knock an 1/8 or a 16th off of it, so they don't balloon out the wall when they, when they block it. It's awesome.
So you've got fire blocks. This is taller than 10 feet. You got two, at least one run of fire blocks, and then these 4x blocks, which are called out for some reason, right? Wait, it's not
4x blocks. So, yeah,
or 3x blocks, I guess, right?
Yeah,
because it's a shear wall.
Shear wall.
These two are shear walls. And that one too. So that's what you can kind of tell. And then otherwise, you see what a huge hassle. If this were horizontal siding, you could nail on your studs. But because it's vertical siding, you've got to block, and that gives you blocking, and that gives you nailing every 2 feet. So it's blind nailed T&G. Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah, it's Thermery.
What is it?
Thermery. It's like an ash product.
Ooh, no.
And it's all pre-finished, and we just come
and
blast
T&G.
it on. I'd have to double check. Some are. It's almost like a skip sheeting where a little bit you can see through, so it'll be like a face nail.
Wow. Which, better adhesion on the face nail, especially when you're using stainless steel nails, right?
Yep. Everything's stainless. Everything's galvanized, that's going to get covered and enveloped within our building envelope, and then everything else is on the exterior is stainless.
And then your clips, these clips are stainless as well?
Those are not, because they'll be covered with...
Completely covered, yeah. And those clips basically just space the sheeting, so they're not butted tight, so they don't. So they have room to...
You don't need clips unless you're over a 2-foot span or over a 16-inch bay.
Okay. So they didn't even have to be there. They're just there, right?
I think they're just they customarily put them in.
Yeah, and the clips also keep your roof aligned. Yeah, it's really. Those are nailers up there. That 2x4 up there. Those are nailers to receive the drywall lid. Will this all Isonine? Will they put bat to this? So they're gonna
Isonine.
open cell foam the whole place.
Pretty much, except for the walls.
So walls will be unfaced bats?
Yeah. And we like to use the rock salt.
Huh.
It's a mineral wool.
Yeah.
And then it's fire resistant. It's 10 times better at sound dampening, so you don't have as many sound issues.
How does it compare price wise?
It falls in between Isonine and your old
and unfaced bats.
Yeah.
Huh. To check that out. Because unfaced bats, like that job of mine, and the extra $475 insulates the interior walls. Why wouldn't you spend $475 for at least the sound value of a better wall?
It's probably about 50% more for the rock salt, but it's mold resistant. I mean, it's just a far superior product.
Yeah, because really, how many walls have you opened up with insulation that's just goes away? It's wet, stays wet, mold disappears. Rats seem to like to eat the paper.
They love it. So.
But this is just clean framing. Now, this place was platform frame or balloon frame. You don't have any gable end walls, which I told you guys last week. I like to see gable end walls balloon frame, but it's the only balloon framing we do anymore. But this job would have been balloon framed 40 years ago. Yeah. These walls would have been full height, and that ledger would have been let in for this floor.
Exactly.
We can stop doing this. This is a way more efficient way to do it. And 8-foot studs versus 16 or 20.
16, and then back then it was all 2x4 too. So just your structural integrity.
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, not to mention straight and flat and all those other great things. And then let me ask you this, because I'm going to do a little demo.
Yeah.
How many are the framers framing with pneumatic guns? Is anybody framing with cordless guns?
We're still all pneumatic here. We've got a couple of cordless, but there's just, especially when you see the sheeters go, there's no way the cordless
Could keep up. Have you tried one?
Yeah, we've got a couple on site. They work all right. They just not the same. I don't know. They haven't caught up yet. Whereas the skill saws are right there. Like I've got
For the cordless?
Cordless skill saw. That's the Makita double battery. It is amazing.
It's unbelievable. I have a cordless router, which is
so nice
beyond belief. But you know, I'm going to do a demo Saturday. I'm gonna nail some 16s in with a framing hammer. I'm gonna set up a compressor and plug in the hose and nail some in with a pneumatic gun, and then I'm gonna take a battery operated gun. It's like, well, which would you rather do? Now, interesting thing is it's a kind of a no-brainer. You'd want the one that you don't have you don't have a hose, you don't have anything, but it hurts the hell out of my hand when I use that gun. It's way more of a jam on your hand, wrist, and bones when I use it. And then, like you said, and I didn't even think of it, it doesn't keep up to that.
There's no way.
You can't bam, 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 bam,
especially
bam.
when you're shearing off something, you know, you just have to have a hose, I think.
Yeah. It's good to know. But I think eventually
They'll get there.
they'll go with that. It's like
I think so.
compressors and hoses and like.
But yeah, the only time we actually did hand bang some stuff is if you have a 3x sill plate here, they'll use 20s in hand bang them.
Yeah, and there's no gun's gonna take those.
No.
20 penny nails to nail your 3x plate. And that's a nail from the bottom of your 3x plate into your stud.
Yep, so we didn't toenail anything on this job.
Yeah.
You'll look, if you go
But
upstairs.
you can toenail studs in the 3x plate, right?
Yeah, you can. I think it's just a better connection. You imagine a 20 going straight up, or you've got 6.
It's a way better.
Toenailing it.
It's a way better connection. And so this is 16 centers, double studs. Is that for? There's no HDs up here. All the HDs would be down on the framing, right?
We've got MST strap up here.
Okay.
And we've got a couple places. We landed our walls on joists, so we'll actually drill through and HD through the beam.
Okay.
For our connection.
And so these doubles are for maybe for some.
And we do throughout just standard framing. Yeah, we use
For any plywood break, you double up.
double up any plywood break.
So
it's just standard practice, and then stagger your sheets.
Yeah, I see that too. I mean, starting.
I think it might even be code now, but a lot of people won't stagger
Yeah,
their sheets.
yeah. Which is
And the
crazy.
only thing
I mean, it's you can see it on a roof. It's easy, but really, it makes sense on walls too.
It really well, and I think it's code now. So you'll see, we'll have 3x breaks, high and low, for our staggers.
Yeah.
And so I think that line up there is going to be that's a strap line.
Huh.
Because our sheet breaks will stagger. And the only thing they messed up is you can see it from in here is they didn't face this should always be faced out. I didn't catch it.
Oh.
But you should always have your print out. So the inspector can see what you're doing.
Yep. That makes sense. So what the heck? Get in here with your cat paw and denail it. I don't think so. So this is the bathroom?
Yes. Bathroom, you've got a big shower niche.
I guess.
Yep. And then we'll come back in, and what we like to do.
So this, go ahead.
Is on these is we've got our windows aren't typical nail on fins to the outside. They're actually set more inside the wall. So what we'll come back and do is shape another 2x6 in here with fall to build our pan. And then we set a jam extension first, waterproof up onto that jam extension, and then set our window into that.
So your exterior is going to have kind of a built-in sill, and then your windows are set in.
Yeah, and then the jam extensions here, you wrap your waterproofing all the way up on that, caulk the outside, set the fin, and then you've got a full finished interior product as well.
And so, was this called out? Is this a detail from the architect, or is this the way you guys like to do windows?
The architect called out a jam extension, but we could have just done a buck or a block and waterproof to that.
Right.
But we figured, for efficiency's sake, instead of setting two things, might as well just set the jam and pull the window to it.
Yeah.
And then the window will have a dado for the drywall or tile to kerf into.
Which is like we do for bullnose, is we buck the openings,
Yep.
make them, you know, an additional 3 inches over, so there's a return for a bigger bullnose, right?
Exactly. So all these openings are oversized by 3 1/4 plus trim space because we have 1 5/8 jam extensions on the inside and out.
Yeah. And so is it trimless on the inside? The wall's just wrapping to the...
The jam extension sits a 1/2 inch out of the drywall, and then the drywall will have that kerf.
So the
Jam extension will have the kerf.
So the drywall grounds to the jam extensions.
Yes.
Which is, and they're going to be proud by how much?
1/2 inch.
Wow. 'Cause, you know, my house was built in 1930, and all my jams, windows and doors, are an 1/8 inch proud, and they have a plaster ground, so
Yeah.
it's lath and plaster, so they ground to it, and there's just the, you know, just radiuses and then the face and
Yep.
the base back.
Really nice
This
and
is
clean.
essentially that detail, only with more showing.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's clean as a whistle. You know what I mean? It's, and besides being clean as a whistle, you know, if you did your job right, if the framers did their job right, and the guys who set the windows did their job right, it makes it, you know, the jam extension should have the same reveal all the way around. Pero, if they don't, and somebody didn't, at least you have a plane you can subscribe to, right?
Yep.
Whereas trim on a wall, you know, if your drywall is not flush with your jam or your jam extender, then you have to do some matching. You got to do some
Yeah,
weird
you
stuff.
gotta either hog it
You
out
got to
the
relieve
outside
it,
trim,
relieve something, right?
Yep.
To make it work, or else
or else you're way out of.
paint and
Yeah.
caulk make a
Plain.
carpenter what he ain't.
Yep.
Wait, caulk and paint make a carpenter what he ain't.
Yeah, we don't believe in Bondo.
Yeah, good. I like that, and so that's nice. No post
Yeah.
there. See, that guy's all hung. That guy's all hung. Let's zoom this. That's what that zooms for. That's a nice detail right there. Otherwise, that would have been an opening with a post. Is that closet or something? Or no,
wet
kitchenette, wet bar. Yeah, I'd live here in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so can we walk on the main deck?
You bet. There'll be a lot more braces because it's not fully cured off yet.
Yeah, yeah. I guess, has it been plumbed in line?
Yes. Yeah, it's all plumbed in line. So, and a lot of the